flexible here. And I liked what C9 brought out, really utilizing this Lee Sin plus Cassio combo so effectively. Blaber hadn't played it all split. Of course, it got those big buffs, and he just immediately brings it out, and it looks like he never missed a day on it.
Yeah, he looked really good. I also liked how, APA would go up and ward Griffin's Raptors as well to set up some of these plays where Blaber could then have the necessary information to wrap around, avoid their vision, and continue to win the mid-jungle duo. So both those two working together, looking very good, as you said, Flowers.
Okay, so we're just about done with the bans here in the first half. Orianna and Karma banned out by C9 FlyQuest, getting rid of the APA Ziggs alongside the Varus and Anivia power picks. Ambessa going to be the final ban here from C9 as FlyQuest did select first pick here in the draft, so we'll see what they want to go with.
Yeah, so Jarvan was banned last time, not going to be banned this game. And does feel like it might just be that first pick for FlyQuest. Yeah, it's up and available. They traded it for the Ambessa, if I'm recalling correctly, for the swap ban from game 1. And so going to be able to grab it here.
I think that also might have something to do with Rumble no longer being pickable because of Fearless. You can't make the spicy hot pot anymore, so it drops some of Jarvan's team comp power.
So even though Karma is still banned, you have AShe Serapine and Caitlyn Bard also both available. And so if you want to invest into the Caitlyn Bard answer here with the Jarvan on your side, it puts a lot of pressure on low mobility carries. And guess what? That's exactly what AShe and Serapine are. So this is exactly what I expected here. If you're giving over that opportunity, the dangerous power of AShe and Serapine. The drawback is, okay, they don't have their own, mobility and dashes and stuff, so you punish them with the champs that are like Jarvan and Bard to blow their, summoner spells, and then Caitlyn with the hard push for the lane.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn Bard has been very effective in the LCS, and it's going to be interesting to see how FlyQuest does. I mean, they won the 2v2 last game. They were the ones blind picking. Now it is going to be C9 blind picking, and FlyQuest are going to have their opportunity to try to counter that 2v2. And so we'll see if they can perform even better as APA going to take some comfort, get themselves even more engaged. And now I feel like FlyQuest just need to ban out some of the bruiser options to kind of pair alongside that, because FlyQuest clearly, want to limit the front line that C9 is going to be drafting alongside this comp.
And since we have bottom lanes drafted for both sides, but mid lane drafted for C9, jungle drafted for FlyQuest, I expect to see differences in the roles you're banning here in the second half. You can already see C9 banning away that Twisted Fate, which can cause a problem for Annie. He can get to the other lanes faster. He can participate more in team fight type scenarios or skirmishes. Meanwhile, on FlyQuest side, they're saying, all right, we got Jarvan. This is a really high power champion. Let's remove some of the high powered answers. Wukong, the first one.
I will say, when
Wait, you can't practice that. They were practicing that in scrims, remember?
The Swedish quad
was
been
leaked.
foiled.
Yeah, it got leaked.
That's why you don't put out content like that telling people you're practicing in scrims.
Oh, we're going to play this. Maybe you shouldn't ban it.
I will say, okay, so here we go. We get the instant Naafiri for a carry jungle threat here for Blaber. It gives you a lot of options to also still go for invades, because Naafiri has so much mobility and the ability to avoid punishment if enemy laners collapse too, with your mobility as well as your untargetability here. So could try and put even more pressure on him.
I was talking to Azael recently, and she's been grinding solo queue again, and I woke up one morning to 20 Discord messages that started with, WTF is Naafiri, what's going on? As a player who plays squishy enchanter type of champions, this character can really be a problem diving onto those high-value targets. So Caitlyn, Bard, Jayce, all very good for Naafiri to lock on.
Absolutely, and I'm just thinking about for Massu here, it's not just the Naafiri, it's Flash Tibbers plus Naafiri plus the Encore. That is very difficult, and Thanatos, he's going to be able to get the counterpick, the answer of the Yorick into the Jayce. It's a matchup I really, really like. I do think it is quite strong. And FlyQuest looking to try to play through side lanes, clearly with Ryze, Jayce, a good ganking jungler, and a Bard moving around the map. But C9 now have a really strong side laner of their own.
Yeah, at FlyQuest, they just love the style where you're pushing everywhere. You're keeping up the pressure the whole game, and if you can keep up the pressure everywhere, it looks great. You suffocate your opponents, you get your early lead, you're snowballing. it makes it easy for you to go to objectives because you're already pushing all the lanes, so then you can rotate first and go over there, and you can like set these champions that don't have flashes here, the bottom lane and the mid lane especially, for APA as well as for Zven and Vulcan. And FlyQuest, if they can bounce back here, because game number 1, Blaber was really able to orchestrate most of it and kind of dictate a lot of the early game. Basically all of the first like 3 kills in the game were around them, around mid and jungle.
Yeah, and I think that for FlyQuest, you are looking at Cryogen. Oh, goodness, that is... Lord have mercy, that is not what I wanted to see.
If I want to see a close
series. Yeah, that brush is... Are you guys still okay from that?
No! No!
What do you mean still okay? I was never okay.
Okay,
he's trying to like psyops us with
that. Yeah, what is that?
all right. My bad.
That's a traumatic BLG
Massu
series.
has the base, by the way.
Yeah, Massu is having a real bad time. Down to 125 HP, forced to recall level 1 as Caitlyn.
I feel, again, this is another instance of really good planning from Cloud9. I feel like they've gotten a lot of advantages from forethought here. You know, bottom lane, they know it's going to be, dangerous for them to deal with, both because Cryogen and Massu are both very good, but also the Caitlyn Bard, hard one to deal with. So they invested in having APA go down there, and the investment paid off.
All right. Well, as the investment pays off nice and early, we've got Ryze standing by for an interview with Cloud9 coach Anero.
That's right, Anero, and you just came on by, and you saw the fact that both sums were burned by Massu and was sent back to base. Talk about the impact of that.
It's obviously pretty nice. Like AShe and Caitlyn Bard is kind of a battle, both sides. Like whoever wins this, it's pretty nice for the game. More important than normal. It's not just like a whatever bot lane. Like you really want things to swing in your favor. Like I think in this, I can't see before, but because we got pushed, we have the opportunity to look for something like this, which we're planning before the game if we got shoved. It was pretty nice. Like it pretty much set up our like win condition early in this game, and if we get cruising, then life is good.
And talk about game 1, because the idea of Lee Sin and Cassio, the moment that got cruising and just kicking into miasma, that was ridiculous. Just how much prep did you have? Okay, you can also just talk about what the hell's happening here.
I don't know what's really going to happen here outside of he's going to lose some HP. But yeah, for the last game, we were practicing that comp a pretty good amount through the week. We're pretty happy that we got that, like just all together. We have that one in our draft sheet, so we were like, damn, okay, nice. We really smurfed through this. Yeah, it's annoying, you know. Lee Sin kicks you, you get put into a miasma, Cassio ulti, your life is kind of ruined. It just sucks. Like it's hard to play against for the other team. Lee Sin's been like jumping up in priority in a lot of different like matchups, a lot of different games. Same with like Naafiri like this. So yeah, I mean it's just strong for Blaber, as I'm sure you can imagine. Yeah, Blaber's the type of guy to love these types of champions. So we've been abusing him pretty hard. Pretty good for us.
And before we send you off, give this bad boy a good luck squeeze.
Yeah, I got you, big
dog. I got. Back to the casters.
What the hell?
I love that.
I feel like that was too personal. We should watch that.
I don't want to see that again.
It's a good thing Raz is close friends with Anero. You know? They're just close like that.
Yeah.
But back to this game and the planning from Cloud9. Again, they had really good early game planning that starts with level 1 with the Annie going down there, and then Blaber followed up on it.
And now Cryogen under pressure yet again, down to 200 HP. The Caitlyn Bard, the answer to the AShe Serapine, struggling here early on once again because of the level 1 planning from Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, Massu's still level 2, and the enemy ADC is level 4, so I'll let you do the math.
Yeah, I'm not a mathematician, Isaac, but 4 bigger than 2, yes, sir. Like, that's about how it works. As C9 is up 700 gold here. The only lead FlyQuest currently possesses individually across the lanes is there in the top side, but you would expect that when Gakgos is playing the Jayce. This is the second game out of 2 that Gakgos is on a carry, but now FlyQuest making the move down here in the bottom side. Cryogen flashes forward, tries to find the Tempered Feint, ain't gonna get it, but Zven's already in some trouble. Quad putting down the damage, and Zven dies. FlyQuest find their kill.
Really nice roam here from Quad, you know, utilizing some of the pressure that he had in mid lane, gets down towards bot, but there is going to be a cost. He's going to be losing minions. He's going to lose 1 plate, and the kill went to Cryogen. So it doesn't really help Massu much at all. Massu didn't even get an assist from that, and it's 39 CS to 19. Massu's only buy is still just a cull off the back of this.
And he's not even level 6 for Quad, so he can't like realm warp back to the minions earlier or anything. So as you said, you had a turret plate and a minion wave. Cryogen, though, he's going to try and at least make a visit. Okay. Hello.
That was a visit. He said hello. He got his electrocute. That's it. Bye-bye. APA going to go ahead, take his recall here right now. Cloud9 still 700 gold ahead.
So this bot lane that is going to be the war zone that Inero is talking about down here, and clearly, you know, both teams investing heavily in with resources. Going so nicely for Zven here with the early boots makes a really big difference on AShe, the mobility difference.
So I'm going to ask you guys' opinion on this because it's very rare to see a Caitlyn down almost 30 CS early on in the game, and Massu has opted to just go for a call when he recalled. He needs to try to catch up, and that's how he's choosing to do it. Do you guys agree with this or no? Because I feel like call is normally what you pick in a lane that's not highly contested.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is he had 450 gold. What are you going to do, right? You can buy one longsword or you can buy a cull. So he's kind of like, well, I'm already screwed. I can't fight him with a longsword, so I may as well buy a cull and hope that I get some random kills or I get some random plates and we can come back in the game.
Well, FlyQuest at least going to secure themselves the first Drake here, 6 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, so pretty early on that one. As looking across the board, it's, oh, okay.
The horse is on the other foot. C9 is taking the lead in the bot lane race to Arizona.
See, the elderly, they start a little slower, but you know, game number 2, now you get a little help. They're intelligent. They call their Annie mid laner, give them a little burst, double summoner spells blown, and a lot of damage early.
They got their morning stretches in. They took a nice little walk, you know, had some coffee.
You guys know that both of these dudes are younger than all 3 of us, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about them like
Did you get your morning stretches in?
No!
Well, no wonder you're not in tip-top shape. It can show.
All right, fine. I'll make sure I stretch tomorrow before we have our games. As bottom lane, it's once again problems here for Cryogen. Goes on a magical journey through the wall, stays alive here with about 200 HP. But once more, it's Vulcan and Zven making their way forward, finding themselves barraging the turret, picking up that second plate as Blaber jumps over the wall into the dragon pit and looks to invade the enemy jungle.
Yeah, the thing too about getting your bot lane ahead early when you're playing AShe, you have hawk shots also to help follow up. So jungle invades are going to keep on coming, lots of extra pressure, but look at Gryffinn coming down the lane. So Gryffinn, avoiding any sort of jungle presence from Cloud9, comes down the lane to look for something, and since he's got a bard to help him,
okay, a little bit of damage there. Vulcan fires off the Encore, locks up Cryogen, and FlyQuest, as soon as they know Blaber's around, they're backing off.
Yeah, really nicely done there by Vulcan. He just needed to buy time because Zven is the one with no flash. Vulcan has flash. He can flash the Cataclysm. He's going to be okay. APA, you know, Blaber, they were cheating down to try to protect, so this was a good window to look for there from FlyQuest, but C9 had it read like a book, and you know, we're joking about the age of the rosters, but there is a big difference in the ages of the roster and the experience. In all of Tier 1, FlyQuest is the youngest roster, period. Not just in the LCS, everywhere in the world for Tier 1, they are the youngest roster. And Cloud9 is one of the oldest. It's about, I think, 57 or something like that rosters. So they are one of the ones with the most experience here.
Ooh, Tempered Fate forces the flash out of Zven, and now Vulcan is going to be the target. They full commit onto it. FlyQuest grab themselves their second kill, bring this game back to a close gold state, but C9 still trying to get something back. This teleport's going to arrive very late, though. Early game teleports are slow, and that just means that FlyQuest are getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, technically, yeah, Blaber is getting the Void grubs, but all the attention paid down towards bottom lane's not over.
Yeah, it's not done yet as Zven gets picked off. C9 got a little bit too comfy, thinking everything was done. FlyQuest hang around and pick up another kill.
Now topside, they're going to go for the counterplay dive.
Okay, they want to immediately stoke the tower aggro with Blaber because he can use the Call of the Pack to get himself away. Nicely done. Thanatos staying alive even though the turret is heated up. C9 strike back.
Grubs could be really good for a Yorick later on too. Help out with some of the turret plate taking for themselves. But FlyQuest, they kind of answered with all of the early thought that Cloud9 put into bottom lane. Gryffinn, so much attention. He had just gone for his Gromp and then went back down bottom lane to go for this dive. Then they also invest quad again to go down there. So they're really trying to get the bot lane back on track. And they accomplished that. They wiped out the Zven gold lead that he had accrued from the early game plays that Cloud9 had set up. And so Massu is basically right back on track here for FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, that's really nicely done. They're having a horse race down there, and Gryffinn and Quad came down in an SUV and just sideswiped them.
Kerblam. Well, we've got the Voltaic Cyclosword completed for Blaber. This item has been very, very strong since it got adjusted, and on a champion like Naafiri that can use it well, it's really scary.
It certainly is. I mean, Naafiri, very, very popular too, also benefiting a lot from kind of the change in meta. So I want to see what Blaber can do this game, because he had such a good game number 1 and a good start to this one. But Gryffinn's rebuttal has been quite nice on bottom side, and Gryffinn will be fairly tanky on the Jarvan. Just go with the classic Sundered Sky and try and start out a lot of these plays. Azael, you mentioned from draft, you were looking at FlyQuest playing some side lanes and being very, very aggressive here with Bard plus Ryze plus Jarvan. There's a lot of gank angles to go after if they can start some of the side lanes pushing.
Yeah, and I mean, they've done a good job after Massu got put so far behind, getting down there multiple times, putting pressure on him. But we haven't really talked much about top lane. In last game, it was just Thanatos playing a tank, not really dying or anything. But this time, it is Thanatos on a carry, and it's Thanatos with that gold lead in a matchup that is beneficial for him. So, we'll see what kind of impact he can have, because he has been so good. I feel like the gap between Thanatos and the next best top laner is bigger than the gap between the first and second place of any other role.
Okay, so update on what's going on right now. Apparently, Blaber's keyboard disconnected from the computer, so they are trying to make sure that that is once again solidly reconnected. I don't really have to explain how difficult it is to play League of Legends clicking your abilities, so definitely got to make sure that one works.
Yeah. Hopefully, he can get that fixed very quickly and get us right back into game. This is going to be an exciting one. I mean, the second game already feeling, kind of more competitive than that first. But APA, I feel like has just been playing so well. When I think back to last week as well, when I think back to, their series against TL was in a really good. APA was finding these crazy flanks on Annie, catching out Jose, who have been having an insane game. And now this level 1 in game 2, yeah, he gives up a little bit in lane to do it, but that was a huge advantage that they built. And you look back to game 1, his pair up with Blaber, he was looking excellent there. And they are just kind of cruising so far.
Yeah, definitely is going to be a big, playmaker for this game too.
Ooh, Zven gets caught here by the Tempered Fate. Realm Warp about to arrive. FlyQuest, wham, bam, gets it done there. They commit some resources, but it pays off.
That's why Bard is always so heavily prioritized into the AShe Serapine. And that was a beautiful combo. Cryogen now is under attack from Blaber, though. He should be able to magical journey to safety. Yeah, but you just easily hit your ultimate, and then if Caitlyn is in range, trap combo, instantly dead Zven. Timing on Dragon 2 is perfect for them, so the time they chose to make this play and this attempt at the pick also just works out for the game plan.
I mean, Caitlyn has been kind of the counterplay to Stasis, Zhonya's, whatever you want to call it, since people have been using it frequently in League of Legends. So pairing her together with a champion that can force your opponent into stasis, just very, very powerful combo. You can see, however, multiple first items being completed across lots of different roles as Gakgos and Cryogen trying to maintain a position of defense here on the top side. Gryffinn also showing up, but C9 is committing more men. It's a 4-man play to enable Thanatos to take the tier 1 turret. Meanwhile, Zven ghosting away from Massu over here in the mid lane, just trying to stay alive. Level 7 versus level 9. Zven doesn't win these, but he shoots off the enchanted crystal arrow. Blaber jumps over the wall and immediately finds his way onto the carry, but he has to back away as Massu does have reinforcements arriving.
Massu is such an aggressive Caitlyn. Are you kidding me? He nets over the wall, chasing Zven, who had flash on, and blows both summoner spells since Blaber is there. But man, he...
Oh, okay. All right, he's cool. I was worried there for a second. I was like, is APA just going to full send this? No.
I mean, this is exactly what Massu's talking about in the interview, right? Where he's like, we're going to hands check people. Sometimes it goes really well. Sometimes they know you're going to try it and it doesn't go as well. Well, this time he goes for the hands check, trying to chase after Zven, and Blaber was there, ends up losing both his summoners. And honestly, if Blaber hadn't been playing with as much respect as he had, he might have just been able to kill Massu.
Whew. Exciting stuff, though.
Indeed.
You like the action, Flowers,
Yes,
even
sir.
if no kills resulted from that one. Really did like it, and it still speaks to how these teams like to play their league. Let's take a look, though. It might have some ramifications for that Dragon. I mean, that flash timer is going to be very, very close with it. 3 minutes ahead of time here for the third one, and even though third is not Soul, it's such an early third that could put a lot of pressure on them.
And as our teams are fighting for control over this bot side river, reminder that it's very likely that a couple of these teams, maybe both of these teams, maybe neither of these teams, if everything goes
At least
really
one
crazy.
of them.
That would be
I personally
crazy.
guarantee it.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee at least one of them is going to be in the Mullet Arena in Arizona, June 13th and 14th here for our LCS Spring Finals. You can grab your tickets right now, scan that QR code. Oh, no, I lost fantasy by 200 points. And my father. Anyway, let's...
That was good, but it should have been, you want to know how I got these whiskers.
You want to know how I got these Ulu whiskers on my cheek? No, it's okay. All right, I got to get back into this. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind. Anyway, Cryogen might just lose his life here. No, he's fine. He gets away with a nice self-McHale's. Stay safe.
So, even though we had the pause, if you think back to what happened right before the pause, we had Massu losing both summoner spells, and now we come back and Cryogen loses the McHale's cooldown and the heal cooldown. Cloud9 in the last, of game time, 45 seconds, just took away most of the utility of the bottom lane from FlyQuest here with just a couple of quick plays. So maybe that does open up an opportunity for them to punish, because you have AShe Arrow, Serapine ult, Annie ult. This team has such strong engage.
So, Isaac, I want to ask you this question specifically because I know that you are a top lane aficionado, mostly because everyone hates playing top lane and you're the only person who will play it in most lobbies. But I know that you're a Yorick player, you're a Yorick understander. If you take the Yorick out of this equation, right, that is the single big lead for C9, FlyQuest is actually up almost 2,000 gold. So what is the C9 play to enable winning through Thanatos here?
I mean, if I'm Yorick, I don't really want to actually group for fights. I think you want to play for gold. If the Jayce is going to go to a fight, it's a little bit tougher because they have the 2 early dragons. But if you could get this next dragon, buy time for Yorick to split push, I think that really is the way to have success.
Okay.
I would be heavily pushing. I would be asking for wards, and I would be asking for Blaber to stand behind me, so that when they come for a gank, you easily win those 2v2s. I don't think there's a 2v2 on the map that Blaber and Thanatos can lose.
And they do have the Void Grubs, even though they aren't super strong right now. They're getting a buff, but it is nice. A little bit of extra damage there, trying to get some more split push money for himself. He has the Maiden summoned, and right back out to that top side. So we'll take a look at the timer, because 30 seconds on that dragon that you're talking about.
So, Flowers, you asked me a question. Now I got a question for you, because I know you have some really strong opinions about top laners and about All-Pro. So FlyQuest has all of these leads, but Thanatos has all the gold leads for C9. So what do you think is going to be the bigger advantage?
I think that having Thanatos as your top laner is the biggest advantage that you can have, because I don't think it's anything even close. It was so hard for me to vote on this category because I wanted to pick Thanatos 3 times. I don't think anybody else...
So you disguised him.
Yeah, exactly. So I picked Thanatos first.
Here.
Second, I voted for Cloud9's top laner. And third, I picked Thanatos for the couple of games that they have lost in the series that they ultimately did win. So this guy is just such a difference maker. He's such an X factor that it's hard for me to not believe in him.
It's hard to argue with that. I mean, he has just been killing it. I feel like at the start of the split, there was a lot of talk about, Morgan, and if he was going to be able to really compete with him. And I do feel like Thanatos has really separated himself out from the rest of the crowd. Has just been so good, because it's not just his carry play, it's his tank play as well. He's actually undefeated on Sion now.
Okay, Gryffinn forced back here, losing half HP to APA's burst. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Isn't that right, Dr. Azael? C9, they grab this dragon. It delays the FlyQuest stack. It means that Thanatos doesn't have to group with everybody. They just punch their ticket to a Yorick split push game.
Exactly. That's so big, being able to take that one dragon. So now the soul pressure is off. You're going to have about 30 minutes in this game before they're really threatening soul, as long as you can keep some pressure up. So It's going to give a lot of time for Thanatos to get up there, and it becomes a nightmare for junglers too, because when you're this far ahead on the Yorick, you can move in, take camps away really effectively, and just start to snowball that lead and get yourself to a point where if you have to show up for the team fight, you are ready to go.
Especially since Yorick is a juggernaut, and Jarvan, as an engaged champion, has a lot of his power budget in his ability to close the gap and start the fight. That's exactly what a juggernaut wants you to do. If that Jarvan ever tries to jump on you, you turn around and hit him in the head with a shovel. As someone who's been hit in the head with a shovel, I can tell you right now,
don't recommend it.
It hurts a lot.
You eventually recovered, but it took a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So we saw Flowers all-pro vote for top lane, but we want to know who runs the Rift. You do. Vote for Kia MVP and your Kia all-pro. Scan that QR code and do your fan duty here. Submit your fan votes. Let us know who you think should be winning these awards.
We need to hear from you as well. We submitted all of ours. Back into this game, though, Infinity Edge done for Massu now, and the summoner spells are all back. So we kind of waited out that period where they had no flash, no cleanse, no Mikhails, no heal for themselves. And now the FlyQuest bottom lane is much more capable at fighting with the side lane pick.
Oh, beautiful shot coming in from Zven. The enchanted crystal arrow weaves a spell, and Gakgos is already down. However, Vulcan gets locked up inside the rune prison. Now Quad's got to try to get away. Cryogen looking to protect him as FlyQuest make it an even trade here.
Wow, that was really well played from FlyQuest getting up there. I thought the quad was going to die for sure, but this is the cost. Yorick crushes towers, and this is exactly what you want if you are the Yorick player. You want action on the other side of the map. You want time alone here to be able to push up farm plates, and just like that, he is up 1.6K.
Yeah, and you want your enemy team to burn through their teleport summoner spells. Not only do they kill off the enemy top laner, but no teleport on Ryze now, having burned that one. Much more freedom for Thanatos.
All right, Thanatos is off to the races. 2,000 gold lead here when the Yorick Spear of Shojin also completed. So fighting him was bad earlier.
I'm looking here. I'm still looking.
Over here.
Yeah.
Connection.
Oh,
nice.
both. So TP on foot.
I have TP.
Yeah, Jarvan, let's get
Guys, look.
Depart.
Yeah, nope. I don't want to use TP there.
Cancel.
Yeah,
That one shot.
I don't want to use TP
Yeah,
there.
I think care now. Don't go on.
I'm gonna push bottom.
Nice, Thanatos.
Nice.
He's cooked as soon as the arrow hit him was exactly what I thought.
Yeah, so they get their kill on an enemy top laner, even though they lose support in order to do it. Still, the extra payment for Thanatos does make it worth there for Cloud9, and now rotating on over, they continue the siege.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really nice sidestep from Cryogen to be able to actually dodge that encore. Him and Quad played it well to get one back, but this arrow going to go wide. Would have been a cleanse down for sure on Massu if it hits him. Cloud9, though, like you say, is very, very happy about it. They get the full tower on bot side. APA even got a plate or two from that top lane, a tier 2. So Cloud9 keeping that pressure up. And FlyQuest, even if they grab this next dragon, it's still a long time until they can threaten Soul and actually force Thanatos to group.
So Spear of Shojin done now for both Thanatos and Blaber, which means, at least the way that I'm looking at it, if FlyQuest doesn't start off a fight instantly bursting someone down, once you have all 4 stacks on Spear, your cooldowns are coming up so quickly that I feel like the extended fight naturally has to favor you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a high consistent damage.
Okay, meanwhile, consistent damage not required. Cryogen found in his own jungle, and C9 gets the pick. Now Griffin's got to be careful. Thanatos finds a little bit more damage there with the ghouls, but C9 going to take the tier 1 turret.
Shout out to the observers, too. Turning off the lights there, showing the vision from FlyQuest's side. And then APA is able to sneak into the brush, makes the bursty play again. Nice proto belt move from APA, and the vision control here for Cloud9 closing in around FlyQuest. You can tell how dangerous it is getting for them, and they're not really able to play this comp how they want to.
Proto Belt is under a lot of criticism these days because everyone has been mind-controlled by Chovy to build it on literally every champion in the game. Proto Belt Garen mid at this point is not out of the realm of conceivable possibilities, but APA making it work here on the Annie.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense here on the Annie. Your job is to really set up fights. It's effective at doing that. And Cryogen, that's his first death. He has been playing with fire for a long time. He has been the one tasked with getting vision back, being able to move up and put himself in these dangerous spots. Massu.
Okay, Thanatos moving forward, finds Massu there with the Dark Procession, but Thanatos just going to walk away from that one. Perfectly walks in between the traps as well.
and he actually desynced himself from his Maiden and has the Maiden still pushing bot. So while he's making a play towards mid, trying to push out Caitlyn, he's pushing bottom and helping out with the Dragon. Flowers, your votes are making a lot of sense. I mean, get to a top laner who can do 3 things at once.
What can I say? I'm good at voting. I'm the best.
That's what you can say.
Did you see the smile on his face, too? He is
Yeah.
very happy with himself.
Guess what? I voted for the right guy. This dude is really good. He owns the top lane. 1-0-0. He's got his last Whisper in inventory as well. About to evolve that one here with his next item completion. And it's just going to mean that nobody can endure the relentless onslaught of the Yorick.
And while releasing the Maiden is pretty cool and can give you that side lane pressure, it also means he's now without his ult for about a minute and a half, right? So there is that kind of period of weakness. Exactly. He is Maidenless, unfortunately. Been there. It's tough.
I'm currently there, you know, so same, bro. I can relate.
You can relate.
Kobe just like, don't worry, guys. I got this.
Kobe's been through much more than 90 seconds without a Maiden.
Oh, no. Dude.
Wait, I'm
He
already down, bro.
threw himself on the grenade, and you're just throwing another one on top of him?
I'm sorry, buddy.
That
It was
was-
right there.
That was diabolical.
He's supposed to help, you know. Where's the setup, right?
Yeah, that
Kobe
was,
can get a Maiden anytime he wants, you know?
yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
He already got a cat today. Next he'll have a Maiden.
It's all right, okay. It's okay, buddy. I'm still on your team. I got you. You're all right.
At least I'll always have Raz as my Yumi kitten.
Exactly.
Well, he may be Maidenless, but he has his Discord kitten that will run down mid.
Raz.
I really need a team fight. I don't know what to do from here. We do have C9 with control over the map right now, trying to choke FlyQuest out of vision, invading the enemy jungle, sitting down some wards. You can see things are very dark for FlyQuest right now. Thank you very much, observers. They have a couple of wards in the enemy jungle, but just around that red buff pit. It's not like they're doing a whole lot of work. And look at the dragons. I always like looking at drakes to tell the story of a game and who controls the map, because FlyQuest had the first 2, but ever since the map changed, it's C9 in control.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I mean, they have had that side lane pressure with Thanatos for a long time. He pushes up. He makes it a lot more difficult to actually get vision in that area. And now that Cryogen did finally die once playing for vision, it's a lot scarier for him to be solo checking, because you know, Gryffinn is trying to keep his farm up. He has been farming as efficiently as he can, and that means that it's Cryogen just on solo missions constantly, who is really in danger.
And it means that FlyQuest, they don't have a lot of options of like where to fight or how to fight, because literally all of their players on their team are like, yo, Cryogen, please Mikhail's me for this fight. There's so much CC on Cloud9. The approach is really easy for them, and the structure and kind of pathway to victory here does look a lot easier to execute. They send their wait.
Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto the enemy jungler. Gryffinn gets himself away for now. Tempered Fate stopping C9 from going any further. Thanatos arrives, ready to push. FlyQuest have to back away because Gryffinn is almost dead. Barely hanging on here, as FlyQuest will set up the traps to prevent a chase through the jungle.
Yeah, anybody who gets it is like, you got to Mikhail's me now. I got to get out of here. And he barely survives, even with them investing a decent amount to get him out of there. And so Dragon number 2, Cloud9 is easily... Wait a second.
Whoa, Realm Warp coming in. FlyQuest trying to find a pick here. Okay, that was... Honestly, I respect the cheeky attempt from APA to just recall in the brush, but the Scryer's plant finds him out.
I think that was actually his teleport in the brush, it looked like. So he's down a teleport. You know, he did not have his ultimate up and available, so not like you're going to fight your way out. So they're going to force now, because not only is he dead, when he respawns, he can't TP.
Okay, I like this from FlyQuest. Forcing the Baron, forcing the issue. C9 has to respond here in a 4v5. Thanatos caught in a bad spot. This is exactly what FlyQuest need. Massu goes on a killing spree. FlyQuest now with a 5v3. Zven, Vulcan, and Blaber trying to do something about the Baron. FlyQuest, it's only Quad that's actually hurt. Zven tries to flash away, but Gryffinn goes in, goes after him. Gryffinn gonna be taken low, but it's Vulcan taken out. Gryffinn finally dies. Zven's gonna follow though, as Blaber tries to get away over the wall. A double kill. Back over to Massu, making an ace for FlyQuest.
FlyQuest, they see the angle, they make a pick and immediately force on Baron. They get so much more. Huge gold swing in their favor.
These guys have no fear, man. Look at the instant flash from Gakgos. They see Thanatos, no hesitation, Ghostblade pop, flashes over the wall. They full send it. They are not concerned at all. They think this is the best moment to go for the play, so they are going to full send it. And then this engage on Zven, flash, force out the flash from Zven. In comes the Cataclysm.
And you see Cryogen, just as the ult from Serpahine was coming forward, he flashes, makes sure that he's going to connect. They go for the magical journey, get inside for the last kill as well to chase them all down. And the coaches are on the edge of their seats as well. It even earns them the 3rd dragon here. FlyQuest, honestly too, sometimes if you feel the game kind of collapsing around you, I feel like the last couple of fights, they were like, there's not a lot of ways for us to approach, and we really are just trying to survive and escape the Cloud9 engages. They just full send on the side lane, but now Baron is under attack again.
Yep. Blue Trinket dropped from FlyQuest into the pit. They see C9 doing it, but C9 has hella DPS on this thing. Gryffinn is over the wall. It could be a smite fight. Tempered Fate down onto the jungler over the wall. And FlyQuest with a beautiful combo, steal it away. Gryffinn has to sacrifice his own life to do it, but Fly will take that trade. Hold on, Blaber jumping in. Blaber! That was terrible! Blaber just sends himself straight into the grave, makes it a 4v4 on the map.
Cryogen with a sick play. I thought he was just going to Bard ult the Baron and delay it. Instead, he Bard ults all of C9. They go over the wall. Caitlyn with the rapid fire shot onto the Baron, helps secure it for Gryffinn, and they just steal it from them with neither solo laner there. That was insane.
What a heist. I mean, back-to-back huge plays from FlyQuest. Here they go, and look at that. Honestly, that little circle looked like it was inside Baron's tummy, but it didn't hit Baron either. So they go in, and here's the burst you're talking about. From 1600, boom, they combo. Holy. And then Gryffinn EQs the chase. It feels like at this point, Blaber's kind of enraged, and they chase after. So they do get the 1 counter kill, and they chase down Gryffinn, but then he also dies too.
Look at burst. Nice. Run. Big kills.
Yeah. Do they mind look at me more?
It's
Use
fine.
art.
It's good fight, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Maybe nothing. I think that's it. We got it.
And think back to at the start of the day when we played our teaser video for the road to Arizona, hearing from the players, talking about what makes them want to turn up the heat going towards the playoffs. And Gryffinn talked about that feeling when you're just playing a really good game of League of Legends. And that was a really good play right there as Massu protected now by the Tempered Fate, getting himself away for now, still getting chased down by the dogs, and APA into the back line with the big Tibbers as Quad gets bursted down next. C9 have found their counterpunch, and FlyQuest teeth are on the floor.
What an insane counter! APA teleports behind, comes from the flank. Zven on the side in the fog of war to hide his AShe arrow, hits it, and now Cloud9, they're the ones that are actually looking to end.
That's game. They're going to end here, I think. That was it. There was no cleanse from Massu. There was no Mikhails from Cryogen. They catch Massu, and then the brilliant TP flank from APA. Just like that.
No matter how good of a board game you play, you are not going to defend 1v5. Nobody on FlyQuest alive. C9. No matter how dark it looks, they find their way back in. 32 minutes into the game, C9 goes to match point.
That is insane. They find the window. I don't think Massu saw it coming because he had his flash, but there was no cleanse, no Mikhails. Maybe he thought Mikhails was up and he was going to be safe to tank it. I don't know, but he gets caught. He gets killed. APA makes sure of it on the flank. That was sick. APA kills him with the rocket belt, gets a 2-man Tibbers right after. Beautiful.
All right, Lounge, how you feeling now at the end of that exciting game?
That was insane.
Crazy.